Dear participants and respected speaker, a very warm good morning to one and all. I, Varlin Betty Cruz, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, delighted to welcome you all on behalf of Gates Institute of Technology for the fifth day Faculty Development Program on Advanced Technologies and Challenges in Electronics and Communication Engineering, organized by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Gates Institute of Technology, Gutti. And now I request Mr. Umakant Reddy, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, to give a brief introduction about today's speaker.
Wish you happy morning to one and all. This is Umakant Reddy, Assistant Professor, Gates Institute of Technology. Feeling privileged to introduce the speaker of the today, Mr. Kotresh M. Mr. Kotresh M is the founder and director of Indian Techies, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Mr. Kotresh graduated in telecommunication engineering from RV College of Engineering, one of the topmost college in Karnataka. As he followed his passion, he became a dedicated entrepreneur. He accomplished his entrepreneurship in concept development, feasibility analysis, and securing the funding necessary for the successful business growth. Mr. Kotresh M is a motivated business professional bringing a 5-year career in small business ownership. He is expert in business development and social media as he quickly masters new concepts and technologies to drive successful businesses. Sir is a skilled embedded system designer with experience in the RS components and controls industry. Mr. Kotresh is a highly skilled software development professional bringing more than 5 years in software design, development, and integration. He offers advanced knowledge of app development and Python programming languages, background coding and development systems for IoT industry and applications. As I have known him personally, I want to add one small sentence about Mr. Kotresh. Even though he's an entrepreneur, he has head of an entrepreneur and heart of the human and eyes of the artist. So by telling all these things, I want to hand over the session to Mr. Kotresh. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for your brief introduction.
So we will start, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so as Umakant sir mentioned, so I'm the director of Indian Techies, and as a part of the industry automation system working domain, so I'm really happy that when the Gates institution took a very good step of introducing the industry people to the education field, because even when I completed my graduation and then we started with like a startup company, so I found a lot of gaps are between the educational institution and the current technology, and updation is happening every day, every hour updation technology is coming. But somewhere we are facing the challenge with respect to the syllabus that is framed, and the revision of syllabus, the period of revision. So most of the cases we see that the syllabus is going to revise like 4 years or 5 years once. That is obviously, that is only the feasibility we have. But the technology point of view, if you see everywhere, every time the technology is improving, and it is changing every time. So here comes the challenge of going with respect to the the gap, because finally we want to make sure that our students are eligible for the eligible to work with the industry, and be ready to cope up with all the changes that is happening in the industry. But the challenges are like where the syllabus is leading and where the technology is leading, there are a lot of gap is there. So in that perspective, arranging these kind of technical talks, arranging these kind of industry oriented talks, definitely it will be giving lot of support to the students. And along with these kind of technical talks, Gates institution is also conducting many skill development programs in the college, so that the students should get even hands-on experience, not only the information. They should also get the hands-on experience. In that way, Gates College is really taking good step. I'm really happy to be a part of this program today. And with all my effort, how much experience we are getting with respect to this entrepreneurship journey, as well as with respect to the this particular how to bridge this particular gap, I'd like to give few information about that. So before that, definitely I have to introduce our company, Indian Tech. Because of that platform only, today we are leading well in the industry, and we are industry automation. This Indian Tech is, as the name indicates, it's a company which is providing the technology keys. It not mean that when we are opening the doors of a home, we are opening the doors of the technologies. Because we always believes to open the doors of technologies, we should first tune our students well, because all those students are the keys for our technology doors of technologies. If we make the engineering students tuned up well for the update technologies, definitely we can easily proceed ahead with the very good innovations in the India. Because many engineering students are only looking at seeking for the job, so we can build them to create a job rather than job seeker. We can make it as a job creator. So that can happen based on the industry as well as the institution collaboration. So in that perspective, Indian Tech is not only working on the industry sector, it is also working on the educational sector also. Talking about the services, before services, if we go with the, like, this is our company website, so you can visit anytime. So if you go with the information about us, it's started as a R&D research center in the field of automation. So it started by the alumni of RV College. So that it's me only, and I had a very good motto behind starting the company, because I was one person who has a lot of dreams about the entrepreneurship, and instead of searching for a job, I want, even along with my family, I want even another 10 to 15,000 families to eat bun and butter by working as a group work. Because most of the time I won't work like I'm a boss, there are employees. I'll be working that one. We are all the engineers, team of engineers who are who are joined in a one particular place, and we are working as a team and getting some particular revenue out of that. So which is nothing but a hard work, result of our hard work. Like that, we started the company. So from the 2016 onwards, we started the company, and we have two sectors in our company. One is the industry automation department, as well as we have one more is a skill development department. It is also called as a industry interaction department. Because most of the industry is, as we saw, they are focusing towards only the industry, and only about the services there that they are going to provide for the industries. But as I observe with the most of the industries, the many industries are getting failed in particular area, because they are not having the proper team. The reason behind this one is the team members are getting available from the educational institutions. So if we are not giving some service to the educational institutions based on our requirement, there are the challenges where we may not get a proper knowledgeable students for the upcoming projects. So that is the reason we started both the department parallelly. So first we started with the industry automation department, then we started with the skill development department, where instead of getting the knowledge from the regular theoretical approach, we'd like to give the knowledge from the practical approach, in the perspective of practical. And also, like, since the industry experts are coming to the colleges and they are teaching, they are giving the knowledge along with their experience. So that will add a lot of good flavor to the learning the technical skills. Okay. So talking about our services to the industries, so we are providing the PCB and wire harness services to the industries. Along with that one, embedded system design, and we are providing the like a mobile app development, web app development, and so end-to-end solution. I can mention it as an end-to-end solution. So many industries who are coming to us, coming with the concepts, and we're converting those concepts into reality by using these technologies. So definitely these kind of things are going to helpful for the industry, because all these technologies are like we are living with these technologies every day. It is not only the 1 or 2 days we are living. So today our mobile phone, if you observe simple mobile phone, whatever you are having in your hand, so that mobile phone is having lot of these kind of skills. So these kind of technologies are already embedded on this particular mobile phone. So because of so many engineers efforts, today you are able to connect to me in the live example, you are able to connect to me because of that particular group of engineers. So we are building these kind of services, we are providing these kind of services to the industries. So the end-to-end solution. So they will be coming with the concept, and we will be giving them the prototype. Once the prototype is approved, we'll go for the bulk manufacturing. Okay. So talking about the industry clients we are having. So in the past 5 to 6 years, we gained a very good trust. The industry gained a lot of trust on us. So due to that reason, we did a couple of the projects with the AO Smith, who are into the water body solutions. Like they are providing the heaters, they are providing the multiple solutions to the, that mean home based solutions. And Pinaka is a one company which is providing the aeronautical related services. It is a wire harness company. And we have a T connectivity also. Maybe somehow, since you are from the electronics background, you would have heard this company who are providing the automation solutions to the top industries. And we are providing the services even to the RS Components and Limited, because RS Component is a one company where I did an internship. So for them, we are offering the with respect to the Embed system solutions. And Texas Instrument, so we have very good link with the Texas Instrument. For them, we provided a couple of the PCBs, the concept PCBs we provided. And Kia Motors, you would have heard of Kia Automobiles. For them, we are giving the IC test engine motherboards. And we are providing for the robot Bosch, we are providing the couple of the services. So we got some of the embed system solutions here, and Alpha also we are providing. So regarding these kind of companies, it was a dream for us to work in these kind of companies, but today those companies are providing the work for us. That means instead of working for that company, we are providing the solution to the company. So that is what the magic of the knowledge. So if we are having the knowledge, in which company you would like to be an employee, for that company you will become a technology partner. So always I suggest the students, please look at the technology as your achievement, rather than seeing a technology only for the sake of marks or for sake of percentage like that. See the technology for the perspective of learning it for the achievement purpose. Okay, because your talent has to be utilized for the country rather than only for your family, only for the sake of percentage, right? Yeah, talking about educational clients, so we have so many educational clients in our list. So in Bangalore, more than 30 plus colleges we already providing the services. Not only in Bangalore, in out of the Bangalore, out of the Karnataka also we provided recently in the in the other colleges in AP as well as Telangana, we provided the services. And like a small overview regarding the services that we offer. So that is a mobile app development, and we are offering the services in the PCB design and fabrication, wire harness, and we provide the services with respect to the embed system design also, right from the concept till the product. And once the system is designed, for that one we will be providing the case design, 3D model as well as a case design for that. So once the prototype is approved, then it will be going for the bulk manufacturing. Yes, so this is about the brief introduction about our company, because without introducing the platform which is giving me burn and butter today, so proceeding ahead with implementing my knowledge is not that much good way. That's the reason I gave the introduction about our company. So talking about the today's topic. Yes, so let's go through the couple of the concepts with respect to the trending technology, the modern methodology for the product development. So what exactly the currently we are we are getting a lot of challenges with respect to the industries. So industry is not giving something like the existing product to be replicated. We are not going with the existing product. So since ours one is an industrial automation company, most of the industries will be giving the new challenges to us. So it's a kind of R&D field, the real R&D field we will be getting. Okay. So let's see what is the main content of this particular topic, and what kind of criteria you're supposed to select while developing a product. The first thing is, if you are developing your own product for your own company, something like if you want to become a product owner, the most important thing is you should understand the need of the product. See, if you're developing a product which is used by the aliens in the some other like planet, it is of no use, because aliens are not your customers. So you have to think which customers you are referring, which customers you are targeting, as well as which is the most important market demand, and which is a product, which service is having most of the important need of the market. So that is what first thing. Second thing is market demand. As I already mentioned, how many customers you are having in that category. Because don't think that your product will be used by only the top end people. So sometimes if you are developing a product which is suitable for most of the middle class people or most of the common users, so that product will be sold more. It will be having good demand. Okay, available tools and equipments. Sometimes ideas of the product will be really good. You can like many after discussing with a good team, so you'll be getting the good idea. But how about the tools available? So if you go with the product development which is using the very rarely available tools, rarely available equipments, it is very challenging. Because don't think that once you develop the product, once you sold it, your job is over. So not like that, because today you saw a lot of the products which are really having the demand and which is having good market output. All the products are also having the service like a product related service also there. That means service centers. So we should use tools. We should use a methodology in such a way the tools and equipment should be available for even the further use also. So developing the product especially for your local region, your local country or state, so make sure that the tools and equipments are properly available in the right time. And investors and fundings availability, yeah, definitely this is most important. Because many products we are developing, it needs a lot of investment. So engineering the person who is having the engineering background, it's not mean that when he has a good capital also. Because capital investment is the biggest challenge in the product development. And that especially when you're developing the R&D product only for POC purpose. POC stands for proof of concept. During that time, what happens, you have to make sure that you should have a good investors, because POC has a lot of investment. Once the product is captured, once the product is getting the output, once we got our concepts, later point going with the customization or something like optimization of the price is easy, which will be a challenge, which will not be that much challenge, because we already got the output. We have to go with just a modification of the components. Whenever we didn't get the output, still we are in the development of our concepts to prove. So during that time, these kind of concepts will come, which investors and fundings availability is biggest challenge. And when you go with the bulk manufacturing, that is also one of the criteria where you have to consider these investors and fundings availability. Okay, then advanced features implementation. So because many of us we are thinking that one product means we have to go with the good features. Because being a end users, if you observe anywhere, being a end users, they want a good cost to features ratio. So cost has to be less and features has to be more. That is what the users are going to expect. But we can't make everything in a low cost, right? So try to maintain the good features implementation with the good cost ratio, so that when your product will be having the good feature in the market. And nowadays, if you observe, most of the products you see, it is having its own mobile app, or more like its own app is integrated with that one. Because mobile app development is one of the common criteria for all the products nowadays you are seeing. Okay, these are all the challenges that we are facing from the industry nowadays. Industry doesn't want only the solution to be found. They want good monitoring system for that. And most of the industries are not expecting the hardware control panel. They're expecting the software control panel. That means today, if I develop a mobile application for my Embed system, that means whatever solution we gave to the industry, today, if we are giving to them, they want some kind of customized app to be developed to that, so that when they should be controlling that particular system without touching the system. They want to just control that one through the software. And IoT, machine learning, as well as the artificial intelligence for the product. Yes, couple of the category of the product, they want machine learning and artificial intelligence to be implemented. We got such kind of projects also from the industries, so especially harvesting projects and based like a public alert system projects, especially in this particular in the time of COVID lockdown. So wearing the mask, whether it is compulsory, they should wear the mask in order to enter into the hall. So if they are like in order to enter into the meeting room, many companies are expecting these kind of products. So can you just go with some kind of small alert to the public whenever they are wearing the mask, and whenever they are by mistake if the mask is fell down, or if they're not wearing the mask, there should be some alert system given to the public. Like that, couple of the products demands are there. And IoT, definitely this is the biggest umbrella nowadays. Like a lot of features are getting added because of the IoT. So IoT stands for Internet of Things. Okay, and few points I would like to add about the IoT. Usually what happens, guys, like most of the time IoT means we think that one connecting some device to the local Wi-Fi and just uploading data to the to the cloud DB. But most of the industries are what they're expecting is their industry will not be in a completely urban area. There will be some industry who are there in the rural area. So industry who are in the rural area, they will not be having all the facility of Wi-Fi. They will not be having the separate router. They will not be having the separate infrastructure for the Wi-Fi facility. Many industries are expecting the IoT to be implemented by using the GPRS. So in this particular scenario also, we have to think a lot through the GPRS, how much we can send the data, how much good streaming we can do. Because many students I am seeing, and many lectures also I am seeing, the moment when I tell IoT, they will be thinking about the Wi-Fi. So please try to focus even towards the GPRS based IoT system. Okay, so that is most needed for the industry, because industry expects less infrastructure cost while implementing the new technologies. They don't want very huge infrastructure cost. With a GPRS, with just a small GPRS model, you can do with the existing SIM only. So with the GPRS connection, we can start working with respect to the data establishment and IoT cloud DB monitoring like that. Okay. And IoT, as you know, it is not only required only for the sake of this storing the data in the cloud DB for the live monitoring purpose. So many industries are expecting the live image processing, live video processing by using the IoT. So if the owner is there in the Mumbai and the plant is there in the Bengaluru, so without calling any faculty, without calling any kind of staff of that particular plant, he want to see the plant live video by just using the IoT. Okay, and not only that, if any kind of sudden issues happen in the fire accident, it may be issue with the labors, any kind of stuffs happen, you want to observe that one immediately. For that one, IoT is really important. Yeah, so let's go to the concept. So what is a product? So read of the product as well as what is product, and does every product is a new innovation? Okay, new invention. So here the challenge is like product, need of the product. So many people, like if you observe nowadays, so many of the concepts, it may be software product or hardware product, whenever they are releasing the product in the right time, and whenever they are developing the product, whenever there is a need, that industry is going to hit its zone in the market. Same thing happened with us also. Like whenever it was a lockdown, so like whenever during the first wave, there was a lot of demand for the sanitizer dispensers, for the temperature checking of the human body temperature without contact. So for these things, a lot of requirement was there. Yes, we developed it. We come up with a very good concept. touchless based sanitizer system, and UV sanitizer system for sanitizing the boots, sanitizing the foods. So whenever we came with these kind of products, it was a really good hit for our company. So we got a very good profit margin during that time because it was the right time. So being the person who has to develop a product, please focus on the need of the current trend. So whenever the current trend is there, immediately you should be able to get into action and start developing the product. Okay, and release the product in the right time in the perfect way of operation. That means it has to operate in an expected way, and it has to go in a better solution. And product means not only hardware product, you can even go with the software solution also. Like today you can see Swiggy, Zomato, and Ola, Uber. So many people are providing, getting a lot of benefit. Why? Because they understood the need of the market. Very simple concept. They understood the need of the market. Now also there are 1,000 solutions, still 1,000 problems are there who are still waiting for the solutions. Only thing is we are not able to observe it. The moment when being a student or being the R&D person, the moment when you start thinking technically to provide the solution to that problem, it may be any problem around you. It may be water problem. It may be a food waste management system. Any kind of stuff if you see, if you are seeing technically towards that problem, definitely their business idea will come into the picture. New innovation will come into the picture. Okay, and one more thing is every product will not be a new product. So that is a one more concept. See, product means you can, like, whenever you're developing the new version of that product, you may go with the new feature addition, or you may go with the cost optimization, you may go with the size optimization. So all those things will come into the picture. Every product will not be a new product. So some products, what happens compared to the previous product, this product will be having new features. Okay, we have to think in that way also. What new features I can add to this product so that when users has to feel to buy the new version of the product rather than the old version of that. Maybe you may not get a patentable level of appreciation for that, but you will be getting the option of releasing that one as a new version of the old product. Okay. Next is a concept analysis. So that when now once you got the idea, yes, I would like to go with the I would like to go with the product development. I would like to give a solution, technical solution to so and so product. The moment when you get this particular idea, so next you have to go with the concept analysis. So what do you mean by concept? So which kind of methodology you have to follow in order to do that? Whether you want to go with the plan A, plan B, plan C. So which is the most reliable plan for that? And especially when you are selecting a methodology, make sure that you should select a methodology which is having the good POCs already. You may be selecting a particular controller, you may be selecting a particular what to say, you may select a particular language. You may be working in the C language or Python language, in the Java language. So whatever it might be. So please understand what exactly you are going to do there. So whether it is already having the POCs or not. Many people would have been already done the products on that. Are they getting the good response from the visitors, that means the users? So please analyze that one in a very good manner, because that counts a lot of benefit to your product. Your product will be reliable, because in this competitive world, so time is an important factor compared to money. If you invest 2 to 3 months of time on a particular concept, way of particular methodology implementation, which is already proven that one, it is not a sufficient or it is not efficient efficient methodology. So investing time on such kind of methodology is totally challenging for you to manage, because your time is already lapsed, and also you are getting the challenges with respect to the competitors. Don't think that the moment when you think about a solution, you are only the first person who is thinking about that solution. There are the chances where your competitor may parallelly start working on that particular solution. And make sure that you should maintain the very good secret maintenance, or you should go with the way, make sure that it should not be spreaded so easily. Your idea should not be spreaded so easily to everyone. Okay. And as I mentioned, working on making the analysis of your methodology or your idea is really important. You have to make a very good analysis about the methodology you're following. Okay, if you invest even like a 30% of your total time for methodology analysis, also no problem, because come with the come with the proper judgment of the methodology, which is the best one. Later point, embedded system implementation, because since we are from the electronics background and we are working on the industrial automation, so definitely the control system and embedded system plays a major role in our particular uh, industry. Then probably if you are from the electronics background, you would have know what you mean by embedded system. It is a combination of hardware and software in a one package, right? And many products, like one more thing is like before selecting the embedded system, so in between the concept analysis and embedded system, please make sure that is it necessary? Is it necessary go with the programmable based system design? Because embedded system is having some kind of program implemented in that one. So for implementing the program, definitely you should use a one MCU, main microcontroller unit or main controller unit. So for the MCU, you will be having its own criteria with respect to the board development, with respect to the clock unit, with respect to the frequency of working, speed of the amount of RAM, ROM available, everything will come into the picture. There are many products where you can develop without programming, only with the analog and digital electronic ICs, only with analog electronics, digital electronic circuits, without looking at, without making a development, without using the microcontroller, microprocessor, you can even give the solutions. So please even think in that way also, because when you go with the what to say, analog electronics and digital electronics based product development, your cost of the product is going to reduce. Yeah, so in that way, definitely the size optimization will be is the biggest challenge there, because when we use a bare circuit, bare ICs, so the size of the entire board might be increasing a lot compared to the microcontroller based circuit, because there a lot of driver circuits will come into the picture, a lot of other constraints will come into the picture. But here, the one challenge is with respect to the cost analysis. Definitely the cost of system is going to reduce when you go with that particular scenario. And one more challenge that you may face is in many cases, security of your product, how much it is secured. Can you give the guarantee to your team or your manager saying that your product will not be duplicated later? Okay, so that really matters a lot, especially when you go with the bare electronics, like without any programming. If you develop a product, there are the chances where your product may be reverse engineered or it may be duplicated without much like efforts, because ICS numbers will be directly available and your circuit is able to, like if it is only the one layer or two layer board circuit, even if it is a four layer board circuit also, we can easily make it reverse engineer. So where your product can be, your NDA may be easily get corrupted. So in that scenario, like many industries, even when we are developing a product without any programming, so we will be making some kind of that IC numbers, like it will be like we will be scratching the IC number. So we'll be making sure that we should not be able to duplicate it. Like that, we will be going with a couple of the techniques that also that you can also follow it, no problem. Okay, but that is some of the challenges that we face there. So when we go with the embedded system coding based product development, it has its own challenges like tools availability and the programmer, the cost of team, that also matters a lot. Every time you should have that programmer for that, and the future enhancement also you have to see. So in the future enhancement, if like say that now you develop the product, so after 10 years you like to make the next version of that product, make sure that you maintain the database properly. So whatever codes you developed, whatever algorithm you implemented, all the code has to be securely saved, so that you can go with the next version of that particular product to be developed without any issues. Those are all the challenges we face in the embedded system. And in the embedded system also, there are the chances for reverse engineering. So where they can capture your program also. For that one, we have a lot of locking mechanism. So we can lock the programs without making it reverse engineered. And we can make sure that it is totally secure. Only that product owners can rewrite the new program into the ICs. They can rewrite the IC. They can write the new ICs with the new program, like that. They can make it still. And here one more challenge with respect to the embedded system, controller selection. Most of the time, many people are failure in this one. They are thinking whichever controller is trending, that controller they are taking. So please don't go with this assumption, because it is not about which trending controller you are selecting. It's about how much it is suitable for your application. So if I just go with the simple analysis, like simple example for you, since you are in the educational background, I can give this example to you, saying that AVR based control like Arduino or a PIC controller, like a AVR based controller, if you see. So if I have a simple example of hand sanitizer, so that when for the hand sanitizer, we need a like whenever we keep our hand, it has to detect our hand, it has to make the some particular amount of the sanitizer liquid to be fall on the hand. That is what the requirement. See, if you want to develop this kind of product, so remaining IO will be remain same. Like you can go, it will be having its own requirement. Like IOs will be always same. But main processing unit, if you are selecting the something like a C programming language for this product, this particular system, so you can go with the either PIC, you can go with either STEM controller, you can go with the MSP430, or you can go with even AVR controller like Arduino and all those stuff. So if you are going with the Python based means, you can go with the Raspberry Pi, Beagle board. So where you can make the implementation of the Python programming language for that. But here the many times, as I observed here, the challenge is what the people will be doing is for the small work, they will be trying to use the very bulk level of technologies, which is unnecessary also. And sometimes the cost of the system is going to affect it a lot. See, now if you observe, with respect to the especially implementation. Now, if you go with the AVR controller, where the original AVR board, if you see also, it will be around like a 1,500. You can finish off with the main controller unit. Whereas if you go with the Raspberry Pi, the cost of the Raspberry Pi is more than 4,000 plus. For that one, you should have a separate memory card, and you should have a separate motherboard for that one, like a power supply unit for that one, which is challenging for you to maintain that system itself. So for maintaining the MCU only, if you are investing a lot of your product cost, then it will be challenging for the user to buy it, because your MCU, that means main controlling unit, whatever you're going to select, that affects a lot to the product cost. Because whether you select a Arduino board, whether you select a Raspberry Pi board, your IOs remain same. IO will not change. IO means input and output. There are the few slides are there related to that one. We'll see in a later stage. So IO remains same. What exactly is going to affect is your main controlling unit. So if you are selecting a Raspberry Pi based, it has its own cost added to that. So that particular main controlling unit cost plus your IO cost. If you go with the Arduino based, means Arduino will be having its own cost. That also will come into the picture. So which is better one, which is required enough, the minimum requirement for the product. So that one you have to select. And also most of the like modules, as you observe, same Arduino board, you will be having multiple pins. So please always check number of pins you require. How many number of pins you are looking for, and how many analog pins you need, how many digital pins you need, how many PWM pins you need. So how many, see, it is all about how much you left out, that much is a loss for you. Say that one, now I needed 9 digital pins and 2 analog pins. I can go with a simple AVR based Arduino Nano original board. If I go with the Arduino Mega, which is having 50 plus digital IO pins, where I need only 9 IO pins. It is like how much IO pins you are leaving, that much is a loss for you indirectly. But it is also give you the way for good new implementation, future implementation, you will be having some ports. But for the sake of future implementation, if you are losing the cost for the extra IO pins, that will be a challenge. So you should avoid such kind of scenarios. Even though it is the same language, even though it is C programming, please see all these things, amount of RAM, ROM available, because many industries nowadays, as I observed, they don't want something hard coded credentials. So this is one point I would like to mention based on our experience. So what they want is something like, if I go with the, based on your knowledge level, especially Arduino boards, let me consider Arduino boards. So in the ESP8266 or Node MCU, we will be giving our mobile hotspot name as well as a username there in order to connect to the hotspot of the mobile. So what the user is expecting is, why I want to keep this particular name and username. Tomorrow, if that particular product username and password is known to the someone, so they will start malfunctioning it. So that one, now you are working in a scenario in the particular company where you have 100 members. and those 100 members data will be collected by that particular system. If any of those people came to know what is the username and password of that particular system, there are the challenges where they may corrupt it. Since we already hard coded those values into the system, so due to that reason, what happens, we don't have even option to change it. If they want to change the option, if they want to go with the changing that particular username and password, again they have to contact the manufacturer. They have to send, the manufacturer has to send that service person, then he has to connect his system to that particular system, and he has to change the data of that particular code. So hard coding the credential inside the logic is the biggest challenge in this real time scenario. So we should never go with the hard coding this criteria in the hard coding the credentials directly in the system. What many people are asking is, so why can't you go with the customized one? So can I get an option to reset credential by using my mobile app? This is what we got in the recent product development. They ask for, can you go with this one? So when we get this kind of requirement, we have a two option, either going with the separate SD card interface with the controller processor, or going with the using of inbuilt EPROM and EPROM of that particular microcontroller. Okay, so now going with the memory card is an add-on cost, which will be adding around 500 to 600 rupees to the product, because you have to go with the branded memory card, and adding to that one memory reader will come into the picture. So including all those things, another 800 rupees will be added to your product. If you go with the same concept with the EPROM, see how much amount of data they would like to save. They want to save only username and password. So tell them, sir, this is what the maximum amount of length of product username you have to keep. Maximum amount of length of password is this much. In this pattern, how much you are going to get like feasibility, you do it, no problem. But only this much is the length. So why can't you use a EPROM? So in such kind of product development, your EPROM size will come to the picture. So most of the time we select the EPROM only for the sake of code memory, but sometime you need a EPROM consideration even for the data memory. So now data memory come into the picture. So as soon I launch my microcontroller, it is going to check the data which is stored in its EPROM. Then it is going to take that data and it is going to feed that data. According to that data available, it is going to connect to that particular Wi-Fi. Now user want to change his information, Wi-Fi and username password. So let him change through the mobile. So he's going to go near the mobile, sorry, near the system. He will connect through the mobile application through the Bluetooth, and he will change his credential. So these are all the criteria come into the picture in the embedded system design. Yeah, so like in this particular case, you got a few more points, especially selection of microcontroller, microprocessor. I already mentioned. So talking about the battery management system, biggest challenge for us. While you are selecting a microcontroller, microprocessor, this is one of the points very important for us to. It is one of the criteria. Why I am telling this one is very simple. Like see, for every product you select the main controller unit, whether it's a microcontroller, microprocessor. So you have to see the sleep time, power consumption, because you know, right? Every product will be having the two way of operation. One is a operating time and sleep time. Operating time is when you are operating the product really. So where you will be using the required sensors, actuators, and like as soon as you stop using that particular sensor, the system will be automatically shut down the power supply for that sensor, because it is a waste of power supply. So it will be disabling that sensor. Okay, like that we will be developing a couple of these algorithms. Now, your microcontroller unit, if you see, it is always running until unless your supply is turned on. Your microcontroller will be keep on getting the power supply, because microcontroller is a one it is a central processing unit. It has to be continuously observe the activities. Microcontroller unit can't stop observing the activities. If it is stop observing the activities, what happens? Definitely, it is going to throw the issue with respect to the performance of the product. The product will not be live always if you do like that. So for that reason, what happens? The amount of power consumption by that particular microcontroller unit, sleep time power as well as a runtime power, these stuffs will come into the picture whenever you go with the battery management, like a battery based system design. That is standalone systems. So good battery management system has to be designed. and good controller has to be properly selected for that. So many of the systems nowadays, we got the concept from the industries is portable product. They don't want always adapter to be connected to the system. They want some kind of system. Can you make it as a portable? The moment when the portable come into the picture, the power supply is the biggest criteria. How to supply give the power supply to the product continuously? During that time, battery will come into the picture. Which kind of battery you supposed to select? Whether you want to go for lithium ion battery, lithium polymer battery, lead acid battery. Okay, so a lot of lithium phosphorus battery, lot of things will come into the picture. So you have to analyze that one properly. How much amount of current is required? Every product will not expect the particular constant voltage and constant current every time. Some products expect the high amount of current discharge in the small period. So current discharge rate also will come to the picture. Then battery management system means there even charging concept also will come to the picture, which is which particular charging scenario, which particular charging voltage you are planning there, and what is the period of charging hour. So for how much period of charging, how much amount of power, like standalone time will come into the picture, and sleep time will come into the picture. Those things analysis will has to happen. Then test case analysis, errors and correction system. So definitely once a product is developed, this is post product. Okay. So post product, your concept will come to the picture. Test cases analysis, like many companies, what happens once they develop the product, they will give that product like a test pieces to their employees only. They will ask them to that mean other than the development team, they will give to the some other team where is a user test cases. That means based on the usage, user may come up with some kind of issues with the product. So how to solve that one? So all those things they are going to take care. And test case analysis, we will be having two kind of test cases: a team test case, where team will be doing the testing, and user test cases. Based on the usage, some test cases the report will come to the picture. So once you got that one, again you have to enter into your coding, you have to solve the errors, you have to correct that particular issues, and you have to come with the methodology analysis for that. Yes, then power saving methodology implementation. This one, as I already mentioned, so it's all about like how many number of sensors you would like to turn on, and as soon as you stop using that particular sensor, it has to automatically shut down. Because in the battery based management product, these things will come with the picture. Yes. So just take a small like a 3 to 5 minutes break, because it's been a continuous session for 40 minutes. So I just suggest you to go to the any kind of doubts. If you have, you can just text me, and you can have a small break of 5 minutes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Your voice was not coming right now. That's why.
I gave the small break now.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Small 5 minutes break, because it was continuously a 40 minutes talk, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sir. Sure. You can take it.
Okay, guys. So let's move ahead with the few more topics, few more points that about the product development and the challenge that we are facing in the modern product development. Yeah. Once we done with our programming with respect to the system design, so now IoT come into the picture. So because communicating with your product, how you would like to communicate with your product. So whether you would like to go with the wireless communication or wired communication, because communication is but it may be control panel with respect to control panel to your like main controlling unit. Sometimes they want a multiple control panels, smart control panels they want. So with respect to the communicating from the far distance. So when the concept called as a far distance communication come into the picture, we have a multiple ways. It is not only just IoT. We have even the RF based communication, Zigbee based communication. So where internet is not required, like every product will not don't want the internet to be added always. So first you should understand how much distance they would like from what is the distance between the system as well as a remote control panel. So if it is within a building, so don't focus on the internet based. IoT means there is a one more meaning is there, intranet of things. Internet of things means by using the internet. Intranet means within a network you can do the communication. You can do the communication even by using the local IP based. Okay, so you can make the wireless system by using the existing Wi-Fi and local server. So how to do that? That is also you should, like how to establish such kind of system. Also, you should have the idea. Okay, so whenever they get a concept called as a communication, we always ask for this one. So, is there any remote location communication? Is there, or do you want a wired or wireless? The wireless based on the type of data they're going to send, we can go with the communication. Something like now, I would like to send only the command based communication. Command based means it is not a text file or it is not something like the data. It is just a commands on off, particular button on, particular button off. And again, also the type of interaction. Are they want to go with the wireless communication? Wireless communication means whether they want to go with the voice based communication, voice based command, or touch based command. Sometimes sensor based commands will come into the picture. That is nothing but our based on the accelerometer, gyroscope, based on the movement of the hand gesture, that kind of commands also will be there. So those kind of stuff will be sometime nowadays due to the AI based, like many people are expecting the emotion based commands or something kind of the based on the eye blinking, completely based on the customized. So for paralyzed systems, the people who are having the paralyzed paralysis, so they may not be able to move their hand, they may not be able to control the systems something called as touch based, so they want voice based. Sometimes if the people are not doesn't have a capacity even to provide the voice commands, so they want motion based, just they are going to make their gesture movement changes. Based on that one, they want some particular system to be activated, like a wheelchair. It may be hospital based. For the patients, they will not be able to call the doctor with their touch, so they want something like with the patient's heart monitoring, health monitoring systems, right? So in that one, what happens based on the sensors data, based on the available sensors data. Now we would like to go to the triggering particular events. During that time, that communication will be different. Okay, so all these things will come into the picture. So going with the IoT communication has its own challenges, that is internet facility. And in the first slide only I mentioned, most of the time IoT means everybody is thinking the Wi-Fi based communication. That is not the way. So please focus on the GPRS based communication, because that plays a major role where during the cost implementation. For the IoT, say if you want to provide IoT a particular system, so there should be a modem has to be there, router has to be there, connection has to be there. So many things come into the picture. Whereas if you go with the cloud, it will not be even portable system also. Now again, what happens if he has a IoT also? between your IoT based and Wi-Fi, between your embed system and that modem, again, one more wireless communication is happening. So even though it is IoT, that you can't make that product as a portable now, because your product is having the dependency on the distance between the Wi-Fi router as well as your product. So now that product is not portable. It is a stagnant product, even though it is IoT. So most of the time we use IoT. One of the consideration for IoT is portable. We want to make a product as a portable. That is the reason we use IoT. So if even though it is IoT, if it is not giving me the portability, then it is not that much appreciable way. So during that time, people don't expect that to be implemented in that way. So GPRS based means it will be totally independent, like how your mobile phone is a product now. It is also having the IoT part inside that. So now, like it is not compulsory you have to connect it to the Wi-Fi only to get an internet nowadays. So you have a GPRS where through the GPRS you can connect your mobile to the internet. So these kind of stuff they're expecting even for the automobile sector. They're expecting even for the health sector, and for commercialized sector. So they're expecting these stuffs. And one more thing is, especially when we got a couple of the industry oriented products where it was a timber industry. It was just an example, like we got in our real time scenario, timber industry, and they want to control the entire plant through the IoT, and they don't want to fix up the modem each and every point in the entire plant. So then they expect it's like we went with the two approach. Let's make it completely independent. All the sector of the industry will be having the internet connection, where they'll be uploading the data completely to the cloud DB independently. Now the cost of the system come into the picture, where they should have a GPRS model for each and every part of the system, industry. Now instead of that one, what we did is, let's go with the one more approach called as a centralized system. So where all the data will come and client to master system, how you know it. Okay. So here what happens, the master will be collecting the data from all its slaves or clients, and finally it is going to upload the data of that one to the cloud DB. So now we have to give the internet connection only to that master. That is a central hub. So all the remaining nodes, it will be sending the information to that central hub. So if the central hub is shut down, then the entire system, entire plant will go out of the monitoring. That is the one drawback. Instead of drawback, we can make it as a challenge also. Okay, that is the one challenge. But if you are able to handle that challenge, what the benefit we are going to get is a implementation cost. Instead of you are giving the internet connection to each and every node, you give the internet connection to the central node. Central node has a responsibility of collecting the data from all the nodes, and that node is going to give the information to the cloud. So they're all the way you can make the like system design and for providing the IoT solutions. And text to speech conversion, speech recognition system. So these are all the few steps they are expecting. And see, especially many industries are expecting something like less maintenance based system design. So they don't want to invest more on the cloud purchase, cloud DB purchase, and they want something to be at the lower cost implementation, because ultimately, again, like how being a user, you're expecting your mobile price and the mobile features. The same way, they are expecting the cost of the implementation as well as a benefit of that particular service. Okay, so here for getting the small benefit, nobody is ready to invest more amount of data, more amount of cost there. Okay, so more amount of price they will not invest. So what it indicates is availability of the storage. Whenever IoT will come into the picture, this is the biggest criteria. So we just for monitoring one plant, if you ask them, sir, you have to purchase around 50,000 rupees of, you have to purchase one website, web page has to be there. You should have one particular cloud DB for that. You should maintain the server every month. So you have to invest so and so amount, particular huge amount in the first for making it as a system establishment. Later point, you should invest every month so and so rupees for the maintenance of server. So then that particular client will not be interested to implement that particular idea. So what they are expecting is, can we go with the available free servers, available free cloud DB? So in that one, you can have a concept called as a Firebase, which is provided by the Google at the free of cost for the beginning of particular amount of data storage. You may not be able to store complete 100% data in that one. So you can store the minimum amount of data there. Okay. And whenever you have a limited space, okay, whenever you have a limited space, now the concept called as a frequency of data capture come into the picture. How much frequently you would like to capture the data. So this one you should get a very good clarity from the user. So you don't need to capture the data every time, every second, every millisecond. If you start capturing the data, and if you are logging the data in that way, the challenge is with respect to the cloud storage shortage. Even though you go with the paid storage, then you will be getting the challenges there. Okay, so this is one challenge you may face. And later point is backup. How many days backup you would like to queue? Yes, we are going with the 10 seconds one time data capture or 100 seconds one time data capture. Okay, let me go with that assumption. If you go with that one, 10 seconds 10 seconds one time data capture, yeah, data is stored in the cloud DB now. Data logging is done. But how many months you can store it? So like every 10 seconds, if you observe, so like that per day, how many number of bytes of data will be stored? Per month, how much data will be stored? So available data space is how much, and how much percentage is already consumed by 1 week? Now the next question is, yes, I want 6 months of data every time if I go to any plan, I want 6 months of data. But I can't go with the 6 months of data storage in the cloud DB. So you can go with the concept called as a based on the regular time period, you can download the data from the cloud DB and store it in a SD card locally. So you can have a one system which is only for data backup purpose. So only for backing up the cloud data, there will be a one more system. So where every month once it is going to capture the data from the cloud DB and download that one into the SD card local storage and keep it there, and it is going to delete that data in the cloud DB. So that one month of data in the cloud DB will get freed up. It will get free. So now what happens? You are going to get a benefit of using that cloud DB for the live monitoring. Because whenever using the IoT, please remember two things are most of the people are going to expect. One is a live monitoring, what currently is happening. Second thing is they want particular certain of period of data to be present at any time. But some people, what happens, sir, I have first priority is first month of data. Second priority is remaining with another 5 months of data. So when the priority is changed, that 5 months of data, you can store it as a backup. Those things come into picture. Yes. Next is a smart app development. So many cases like even like control panel design, like these points I discussed even with respect to the topics covered slide also. So mobile app development is one of the biggest benefit and one of the biggest criteria they expect nowadays. So for any product you take, they want one particular app to be developed for that, and it should have good GUI, good user interface, and user accessibility also, and the IoT monitoring also can be done by the mobile app, because now if you go with the hardware based panel, control panel, so the challenges uh, with respect to like the duplication of control panel. So if I want a 10 control panel like that, so every time I have to invest that particular price for that control panel. And again, if any kind of issues are happening with the control panel, it may be a buttons, it may be a display, we have to repair the control panel. A lot of challenges will come into the picture. But going with the smart app, it is always a smart. As the word indicates, it is a smartness. So if you develop the smart mobile application, challenges, like benefit is which and all mobile, which and all Android device or Apple device, you're going to download that particular mobile app and install it. All those devices are going to convert as a control panel for that particular system, embedded system. But now the question is, you may get a one thing, sir, like won't it become a security breach? Because that is a one doubt you may get in your mind. So don't you think it is a security breach? Because today I am a plant owner, I downloaded that mobile application. So there is no restriction for my colleague also to download that mobile application, because it is available in the maybe in the Play Store or maybe in the local server of that company. So if he is also downloading and I am also downloading, and if he is also able to control the machine, unauthorized person also able to control the machine means it is a security breach. So during that time, so we will get a couple of the features called as a security layer development in the smart app. So you can go with the one username and password, authorized username and password for that mobile application. Even though everybody download the mobile application, until unless you provide that username and password to that particular machine operation, then it will not allow you to download that particular. It is not going to allow you to control the application by using that mobile app. Like that you can do. Otherwise, nowadays most of the mobile application you see it as a finger scanning, that means fingerprint scanning. So where you can go with the integration of your fingerprint mobile feature, fingerprint lock of your mobile feature along with your control panel. So even though everybody is download that mobile application, if their fingerprint is matching with the application saved fingerprint, then only that mobile app will open in the control panel. So which indicates indirectly it is only authorized person can do that. So authorized person, if he is present in the lab, again, you can go with the one more stage of layer of security. Something like I want only plant manager has to control that machine only when he is present in that particular plant. Then you go with the Bluetooth. So what it is going to do, as soon as it is going to launch a mobile application, it is going to check the Bluetooth connectivity of that machine as well as a mobile app. Like I think you would have already experienced this one in local area. If you observe, like we have a bounce scooter in the bounce rental scooter in the Bangalore. So that rental scooter, how it is going to work is once you go near the scooter, then the scooter Bluetooth and your mobile app is going to interface. So if you are able to send the data from, if the acknowledgement is going from the scooter Bluetooth module to the mobile Bluetooth module, then only it is going to allow you to ride the scooter. So which indicates the person who is using the scooter is always there with the scooter itself. The moment when you are going away from the scooter, your scooter will stop working. That means it will avoid you to get damage or robbery of the scooter. In the same way, many industries are expecting. They want plant manager to be present whenever the dedicated like machines are going to get operated. So if the machine has to operate means plant manager has to be present. He has to log in into his system through his own credential layer or security layer. Either it may be fingerprint or it may be face lock, it may be voice lock, it may be the pattern based locking system or number based locking system. That is again the mobile app development features. That one they are expecting, and after that one they are expecting connectivity also. That means availability of that user in the selected area. He has to be available only in the selected area. So when that person is available in the selected area, then only that particular machine will be accessed by the team. This is also one of the features many industries are expecting. So these are all the challenges that we are facing in the nowadays product development. So they are not expecting only product is working. How much security is accessed? How much security is monitored? How much security is accessed? That is also many people are expecting. Then once your system is designed, so all these things, whatever we did till now, it is about the concept of the proof of concept, as well as it's about the like developing it in the reality. Okay, so once that is done, the next concept is with respect to the PCB design for that, because most of the time what happens while developing the POC, proof of concept, we will use the ready-made sensors, ready-made available devices. We'll be using the bare models. Once that is done, we'll go with the customized PCB design for that. Here what our service really eating a lot in the market. So many people are liking our services because we are providing them the portable, stabilized, reliable products. So the PCB is one of the added advantage for that. So by using the PCB design, what happens? We can make the product without any loose connections, without any much like wear and tear parts. So we can make it completely customized. So, and also, as you know, the PCB is going to lead us to give the mass production in a less cost, like a lesser time. So we can have a bulk production in a short period by using the printed circuit board. Okay. That is about the PCB, and like it is going to helpful for us to mass production. And when the mass production has happened, as a part of that one, the cost reduction also will be there. Okay. Then increase portability because of the PC board. As you know, like since the PC board is completely printed on the board, printed circuit on the board, and it is having a very good soldering, very good component placement, and because of printed circuit board today we are having a very good interface panel. You can, even if you can consider your mobile, your laptops, so you are able to use the laptop USB ports, you are able to use a laptop screen, you are able to use a laptop like power panel properly because everything is properly placed. So PCB will helpful for us to do the proper placement of the components. We can handle the features of the board in a proper position. Okay. Then again, while selecting the PCB, it is also adding lot of benefit and challenges to the product development because cost of the product, how much you are exactly adding the cost. Okay. So that also is getting challenged with respect to the cost analysis. Yes. So, with respect to the PCB, you will be having the number of layers there, especially printed circuit board cost. It is, see, components are always common, whether you go with the 1 layer or 2 layer, or 5 layer, 10 layer, sorry, not 5 layer, 4 layer or 6 layer like that. So components always remain same, but the challenge is number of layers will increase the per board cost. Currently, if you see the industry standards, for 1 layer PCB board per square centimeter, they are charging around 80 paise or 1 rupees. If the 2 layer board, they are charging already 1.5 rupees per square centimeter. If it is a 4 layer board, they will be charging 8 to 10 rupees per square centimeter. So the same board, if you are going for multi-layer, which is not necessary, so it will add the cost for your product. So number of layer selection, amount of the cost you have to invest for only for board fabrication. After for board fabrication, again component placement come into the picture, soldering will come into the picture, testing will come into the picture, rejected pieces will come into the picture. Many things are added up after that. PCB, once a PCB is designed. So those things you have to consider properly. Okay. So once all these things come into the picture, all things are finished, you will be having the board with the program embedded in that, and the components are soldered properly, tested properly. Now it's the time for the designing the outer case. So designing the outer case means we will be using the CAD tools most of the time. So we should use the concept called as the CAD tool design. So we'll be designing the outer case. We'll be giving the proper holes for the sockets. We'll be giving the proper holes for the USB cables. And most of the time for the prototype design, we'll be using the 3D printing. Okay. So even we are providing these solutions to the industries, 3D printing solutions, because when we are giving the product to them, we have to go with the proper casing for that. So most of the time 3D printing means it will be a plastic material, PLA or ABS material. But real-time system, they will be making it as a metallic body based on their cost of investment. Okay. Yeah, guys. So this is all about the technologies and the implementation methodology. The challenges that we are facing in nowadays. It is not only about working; it's about the security. It's about the body-wise security, features-wise, and data-wise. All those things will come into the picture in the trending modern products. Yeah, this is all about my input from my end. So I'm eagerly waiting for some kind of queries from your end, guys, because ultimately it has to be, it's supposed to be a two-way, right? So till now you got one-way data, so I'm expecting some input from your side. So any doubts or any queries?
Sir, actually, we have a 30 seconds delay between the Zoom and the YouTube. So we'll wait for the participants to post their questions, sir.
Sure, madam. Sure, definitely.
So we have a question. Is smart production useful in future?
Is smart production is useful in future? Am I right, ma'am? Is it a question?
Yeah, sir. That's
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Like smart production, it is already started. It is not only future. Currently, every product they're expecting smart production. That means the product development in the smart methodology, as well as product development with the smart features. Okay, so it is already in a use. It is not in future. It is already there, and definitely in future, you know, right? Like you can observe just like the automobiles that used to get in the previous and current automobile sectors. So the modern cars having a lot of smart features like not only just the ABS and airbags. It is giving each and every details to you. What is the amount of traffic is already available in the upcoming session, like upcoming roads and the back rear sensors like hit and collision detection systems, fire alarm. If anything accidents happen to that particular system, immediately it is giving the alert to the user of that particular guardians of that particular car. So already a smart technology is already implemented. Okay, it is not a future, it is already there, but in future it will be more. That especially EV vehicles, right? So EV vehicles is one of the part of the smart product. So electrical voltage, like EV based vehicles, that plays a major role in the future technologies because fuel dependencies they are reducing as much as possible.
Okay, sir. Sir, in the timber industry example, you have said that centralized system, the central node will take care everything. But what happens if the central node fail to function or if it is facing any problems?
Yes, ma'am. So during that case, that is a challenge. Definitely, it is a challenge. That's as I mentioned in the central hub. The central hub is stopped working. During that time, what happens will be challenging for us to understand. It is challenging for us to handle it. For that reason, what we will be doing is we will be checking the timestamp of the every time data is going to upload to the cloud DB. If the data is stopped uploading to the cloud DB, we will be checking the timestamp, the current time as well as the latest time when the data is uploaded. If the current timestamp and latest data upload time is varying more than a particular step or more than particular duration, then we will come to a conclusion something is happened with the that particular node, central node. So we will be handling in that way. First is definitely, as you mentioned, if the central system is stopped, then entire plant will stop. The monitoring of entire system will definitely collapse. But that is a challenge. That is also giving the benefit of cost reduction. We said the same thing for them also. So definitely, if you are ready to handle this challenge, like ready to accept this challenge, then we'll give the system same thing. If you're ready to invest well, means you go with the individual GPRS. If you don't want to go with the individual GPRS, then ready to accept this challenge. Then they ask, sir, if that is a challenge, I'm ready to send one particular person to correct it. But can you give me the detection system? How you can detect central hub is stopped? In that way, we are going to get in the some other method, something like timestamp of the recent data uploading, and how to detection comes into the picture means correction can be done in the manual way.
Okay, sir. The correction can be done only through manual or it can be done in online also, sir.
Yeah, online also we can be doing, but if it is a hardware wise any errors means we have to go manually.
Okay, sir. So you have talked about this PCB design and CAD designing. So can I students when they can take this training sessions, whether it's online or offline, sir?
Usually we prefer both way because PCB has a two way. One is a PCB design, one more is a fabrication. So many students, what they will do is they will directly go with the 2 layers, 4 layers, 6 layers. See, I always suggest please have a experience of complete journey of PCB design, fabrication of first layer properly. Because how our microcontroller selection is a one criteria in the PCB also many students are not knowing the value of first layer. They're directly going for the 2 layer, 4 layer, 6 layer like that. So always first layer you should design, we should fabricate it, we should know the steps of the design and steps of the fabrication. Later stage we can go with the 2 layer. For 2 layer, say 4 layer and 6 layer we can go online only. But for first layer design and fabrication we should have one offline STP. That will be advantages.
So what will be the duration of the course, sir?
Duration of the course, usually it is a 14 to 18 hours course. So usually in Bangalore, in some of the places of Karnataka and other state also, we are requesting them to give us the slot of 2 days or 3 days continuous slots, because especially this design and fabrication is a back-to-back procedure. So if you can allocate us the 3 days of working hours or 2 days of working hours, so definitely we can finish, we can cover the topics with the industry experts. One more challenge, one more benefit is when it is offline, we are not bringing the some other people, we are bringing the real working industry experts. So when the industry experts are coming, as you know, compared to the school level, the college level teaching and industry level teaching, college level teaching will give the knowledge, whereas industrial level teaching will give you the knowledge plus experience. Like how I gave you the live experience of timber industry. So like that, you will be getting the experience that whatever we got in the previous years, that will be added along with each and every time topic discussion. So currently in the upcoming days, like from the 25th of March till the 31st of March, we have one SDP going in the Siddhartha Institute of Technology in Puttur, SIST College. So they are organizing for more than 300 plus students. So during that particular like SDP, for every one student, we will be making the one particular design to be assigned, and they will fabricate that design right from the scratch level. So it is not a group work, it is an individual one, because that particular training program is individual training program. Every one student will assigned with one particular design. We will teach them the design for first half of the training program. The remaining half of the training program, whatever they design, that one they will fabricate in reality. At the end of the training program, they will be having concept product that is not program based, it is non-programmable. That means analog and digital circuits. So so they will go with the one complete set of the designing circuit, fabricating circuit, testing with a component placement of circuit, and testing the circuit. So they will be doing complete product development job there. But it is a without programming product. With programming product also, we have one particular course, but we expect always first they have to go with analog and digital electronics, then they have to go with the product development with programming. That is a 3 days duration course, usually based on the count.
Okay, sir. So we were talking about the available free DB for storing the data, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
So you are talking about the Google.
Yes.
If it's free, what about the security, sir?
Yeah, totally secured. See, your Gmail, your YouTube content, everything is secured. Google is a highly secure platform. So it will be connecting to your cloud, your Google account only, current Google account, whatever you're using, that Google account only it is going to connect. So it is total secured. Until unless you are giving you a credential, like how you are giving, nobody want to give their Gmail ID password and Gmail username and password, right? So how much your Gmail is secured, that much also that Firebase is also secured, because it is a part of your Google account only. So Google is providing you the drive, it is providing you the YouTube account, Gmail account, it is providing you a couple of the other things also. In the same way, it is providing the free Firebase DB.
But right now, all what the others are expecting is AWS now, sir, Amazon Web Services. Yeah,
AWS, it is based on the cost implementation. AWS is 1 year it is going to free, but it will expect you to provide the credit card details. Everybody will not have credit cards, as well as AWS is something like for the commercial use. For commercial use, definitely we are using AWS only. Whenever you want to implement the Python-based web app development like that, we will use AWS. It is based on the cost of implementation, and AWS most of the time we are going to use for the video surveillance purpose, for the live surveillance. And whenever the number of users are more, whenever the traffic for the website is more, we will use AWS. When I am only communicating to a plant which is having only less number of users traffic, then going with the AWS is a total waste of cost. That's what, when it comes to the IoT, selection of servers, selection of cloud DB, you have to plan everything accordingly, the cost of implementation. And is it necessary to implement that amount of cost for that service? How much amount how much amount of data you are handling at a time? All these things will come into the picture in the concept of IoT.
Okay, sir. Thank you. For students level products and projects, they can go for this Google DB.
Yeah, ThinkSpeak as well as Firebase, these are all more than enough for them. Even many industries are using them, not only students level project, even many industries they are using Firebase because it is required enough for their application. They want to monitor just 10 factors or 10 features of the that entire industry. For 10 features, they don't want to invest the AWS level of cost, and AWS is every month it is going to generate your particular bill for the maintenance of this that particular data, so which is challenging for them to bear. So for small scale industry, we can go with the even ThinkSpeak as well as a Firebase. It is totally secured.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, and most of the participants, the comments were like, it was a good session and it was a very excellent. It was a great platform for implementations. And they said that it was nice and interesting, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
So
sir.
for all the participants, I just give one particular support. So you can go to Google and type our company name. So if you want to contact us, you can contact us through the contact us page. So we are there in Bangalore, situated in the Bangalore. So you can note down our mobile numbers also here, because definitely we are looking forward for the students and industry collaboration, because it's a challenging for education institution to cover everything, because every day industry is changing, every education institution can't cover everything, so we have to go with some industry collaboration. It is a teamwork, that's it. If you want to change your technical skills, you should be ready for teamwork. So we are ready to provide support, even college is ready to provide the slot. So let's make it as a teamwork and build that particular recurring system. And also I know guys, many of them I saw nowadays students are not like they're not a struck vehicle. They're the rocket launchers. They're expecting small trigger. If the trigger is there, if you know how to start studying the content in the online, you have n number of stuffs are available in the internet. It is not like a olden days. It is everything is available in the internet. So only thing is, you know that methodology and small pickup is required, small boosting is required. That one we are ready to give. Definitely our experience always there for your knowledge improvement. But one step is coming, it has to come from your side to cope up and be ready to contact us. So definitely we will not tell that when everything is a free of cost, but education which is coming free of cost is of no value at all. So there will be a cost added to that, and it is a valuable cost for your time and money investment. You will be getting the valuable services. And one more thing is, it's all about like knowledge to money. Like, see, today you learn the knowledge, tomorrow you do the job, you will get the money. Today you invest the money and learn the knowledge. So money, knowledge, and money. It is going to like that. Everywhere it is the same thing. Even when I was a student, I paid the college fees, I learned the knowledge. I invested money and got the knowledge. Today I'm investing my knowledge and getting the money. It is like that. It is a recurring system.
So,
Thank you for all
yeah.
your feedbacks. I'm really happy that one, even though I'm not able to see you people, not able to go with the face-to-face conversation, still I got a good feedback. I'm really happy for that. So we'll be looking forward for more sessions, especially for the offline training programs, because very needed nowadays. Because of one more thing is the COVID lockdown, online classes, whatever you got, that is impacted a lot on the education system. So many industries are already lost the hopes on the students, because they already know that one students got the promotion from one semester to another semester without much practical knowledge. They came to the higher semester. So the assumption is happening in the industry mindset. So I want you to prove yourself, then only you will have a secured futures. From the industry perspective I'm talking, it is challenging. We want practical oriented people. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So we'll finish the session as of now, sir. There are no questions. The questionnaire is done. Okay. A very good afternoon to all. It's a pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for today's session. Thank you, sir. Thanks for giving your valuable insights.
Thank you, ma'am.
PCB segment, PCB design and fabrication, gap between industry and academics, smart product design, smart app development, embedded system and its implementation. And also you have given in-depth knowledge about the college level teachings and the student level teachings from the industry point of view. Thank you, sir. Sir, can you stop your sharing your screen, sir, because we have to
Yes.
post something.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Now it's time for valedictory function. Now I request our enthusiastic, charmistic and energetic Managing Director, Mr. G. Raghunath Reddy, sir, to speak a few words.
I'm sorry. A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much. The ECE department, especially I would like to thank Imtiaz Bash for taking this lead role in conducting this FDP. When he came to me that he would like to do the FDP, and instead of specifying on one particular topic and going vertical down in that aspect, we decided we want to do various topics so that most of the faculty, those who are the emissaries of the technology, transferring the knowledge from the industry to the students world, it's actually just makes a huge impact for them. That's the reason why we selected a different kind of an areas and what are all the things, emerging technologies happening in the electronics and communication. So my special thanks to the ECE department for doing such a wonderful job. And I would like to thank all the participants for participating. And my special thanks to all the speakers. It's an amazing session. I've been actually just going through a high level of the gist of each one of the sessions, how it went and what the feedback and everything there on it. It certainly is a very inspiring sessions, especially in the technology world, what's happening in the future trends. Especially, I would like to comment on Mr. Kotresh on what he said is just giving a small ignite to the students will take it a long way. I was under the same impression. I wanted to cover that point. So being as a faculty members, all you need to do it is, I know you are busy with your academics and you're busy with covering your syllabus and got to follow the university norms, regulations, and covering of the syllabus and all those kind of things there. But the most important thing out of all these things, you need to ignite that spark in the students. You need to ignite that interest in the students on this, the most happening things around the world, because what we study in the academic world is maybe education 1.0 and the industry is 4.0 industry we are talking about, or we are actually industry is rapidly changing. So putting those thoughts into the students and giving introduction of those small things into the students will make them explore more and more about those topics. So my suggestion for all of you is whatever you have learned and try to go and just ignite just a 5 minutes talk on this each one of the special areas to the students and ask them to explore whenever there is a dull day or where you have a little bit of a half a class or whatever it is. Ask the students to demonstrate on that particular topic or whatever they have learned or whatever they have explored. And that would actually result in a great beginning, and eventually that leads to the projects being executed in these latest technologies. That's how I feel it. That's how this can be spread, because the beauty of being into the academic world is it's actually the many to one and one to many. Receiving the knowledge from the various sources and dissipating the knowledge to the thousands of students. That's you are the one who can actually just do it. The way the Buddhist monks, when they want to spread the happiness around the world what they believe in it. They sent a small group of emissaries around the world, and they started going and propagating uh, through a different kind of, whether it's a kung fu or karate, but they spread all across the Asian countries, the Buddhism and the same kind of a things. You being as a faculty members, whatever you have learned, and you small ignite to the students, 5 minutes in the class on these latest technologies that you have learned, spreading that one to the students, and just to putting that into the student brains, and they will explore themselves and they will start learning those things, and it will certainly will be a huge benefit for all of us. Okay, said that one. Thank you once again for all the speakers and all the participants, and the Department of Electronics and Communication of Gates Institute of Technology. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable thoughts and suggestions. We'll try to make the best use of them. And now I request Mr. B. Manan, sir, co-convener of the Faculty Development Program and Professor of Electronics and Communication Department, Gates Institute of Technology, Gutti, to give a brief about this 5 days faculty development program.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I've been given the task of consolidating all the 5 days talks and give a gist of each topic so that we can get a capsule information out of each topic. So I will start now with the first day's inaugural session. Inaugural session was attended by our respected correspondent madam, Srimati V.K. Padmavadama Garu, and our director madam, Srimati Srivani Garu, and chief guest Dr. D. Vishnuvardhan from JNTUA, is the head of the department of JNTU Anantapur College of Engineering, and he is from Electronics and Communication Department. And in the presence of our principal, Dr. D. Venkatesh, all the dignitaries gave short speeches on the importance of innovations, importance of technology advancements, and urged the participants to make the best use of this opportunity and update their knowledge, and also transmit the knowledge and pass it on to the student community at the right time and the right moment, and with their additional value add, they can make the student community aware of all this knowledge being disseminated by these eminent personalities from academic and industrial background. So with that, Dr. Muhammad Riaz Ahmed, Assistant Director, Multidisciplinary Research Center from Riva University, started his first day's talk. And he spoke about the entire overview of all the electronics and communication technologies and how they are connected to the physical world and how they are going to help solve the problems of physical world, where a lot of data, information, and the data is converted to information, information is converted to knowledge, and knowledge is converted to concepts, and all these things are interconnected, and they are all going to make our lives better. That is, ultimately, we are going to get benefit out of all these physical world data processing and also decision making. All these things are most of the times done by automated methods. So in the overall picture of explaining things, used a new method of teaching called, that is pedagogy, as they call it, pedagogy of having a big white board with tables and columns, where he interactively filled this table and columns with a blank slate, started with a blank slate. He asked the participants to give supply words and filled up the entire board with a lot of technical terms and then solutions to various problems. So it was a quite an interesting kind of gameplay. We can say that it has been a new experience for all of us, where we started with a blank screen and we started with different types of physical data from sensors and smart devices we are collecting. Then what are the new types of data, something like big data, and how we are going to do predictive analysis, and how cloud computing is helpful, and how edge computing is used. All these words have been filled in the right places, and we came to know the total picture. That is like a bird's eye view of where all electronics and communication technologies can be applied in real world, and where we can take up some research methods and new solutions to old problems or recent problems. So he was also explaining all the in the last column, he gave something about what are the different methods available in electronics and communication technologies to solve these problems, which are ever present and ever occurring, continuously occurring problems. So all these things are very interesting, and it gave a lot of challenging thoughts and ideas to people who have been going through this lecture and attending them. And he also put a lot of emphasis on embedded systems, wherein every device will be a smart device, and every device in future will be a connected device, and every device is capable of taking some decision within the device, and automation is ever prevalent. That is, automation is ubiquitous, they call it. It is always available in all the places. Automation is going to be embedded in the system so that our life will be much better. So with that, he changed over to the future of 5G technologies. And in fact, his idea was to demystify 5G. We started with the electromagnetic spectrum and where 5G fits in. A number of hitherto unknown facets of 5G were discussed. For example, 5G will require lot of repeaters or smaller cells with number of towers to the extent of 30 meters distance between towers, which was not known to us earlier. So all these problems have to be faced, and all these challenges have to be met. So there will be a number of antennas, and there will be antennas in different directions, electronically steerable antennas in different directions. Each part of the antenna will be connecting to a particular cell. All these interesting topics were brought in and discussed, which gave us a lot of insights into the future of 5G, which has already been in use in number of countries in Western world, which is going to be likely to be announced, and it will be coming within a couple of years in our country also. So it was a overall interesting topic and very apt for the first day's session. On the second day, Dr. Abhishek Adhikari, Assistant Professor of Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science from IIT Bhilai, gave a speech on fractional order electronics, a new domain in circuit and control. So we all know that there's something called fractals, and 2.5D fractals we have been studying. But even for me, this appears to be a new subject, though the subject has been in vogue or in mathematical domain. It has been explained in 1700 AD, somewhere in 1680 AD. It was explained by the pioneers like Raymond Luer and others. But the practical applications and making components and circuits out of fractional order integration and differentiation, using these mathematical concepts, we are able to design and implement new kind of devices. That's a very interesting topic, and it is actually based on fractional calculus, where a fractional differentiation is followed by a complete integration, or complete differentiation is followed by a fractional differentiation. In other words, we are used to an inductor with L D L, that is the inductance multiplied by di by dt, that is current variation multiplied by L. This is full differentiation, but if we can fractionally differentiate them, then the interesting solution or a beauty of the solution is that the same design can function at different devices. As different devices, by changing certain parameters, we are able to bring in the capacitance, inductance, and also resistance within the same device, which is a very beautiful concept. I feel that this has been a neglected area, and this is going to be picking up in the future, and especially in the past 10 years or so, this has picked up, and large number of papers have been published to the tune of something like 11,000 papers in a year has been published according to the table projected by Dr. Abhishek Adhikari. So overall, an interesting concept, an interesting solution to, generally we are used to a particular device doing a particular job, but here we are coming across a device which can do all possible combination of devices. It is role changing and modeled into different devices. It's a very interesting concept. On day 3, we have had Mr. Tirumala Vasu Galitoti, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE from Presidency University, and also is a research scholar in NIT, that is National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. So he made his speech on 2 parts. One is about using MATLAB for simulation of studies for studying the helical antenna through MATLAB. That is, we can study the radiation pattern and we can adjust the transmission lobes, that is, back lobes have to be reduced. That is our aim of all the communication engineers, where we have to concentrate the beam in the frontal lobes, and reduce the radiation in the side lobes and the back lobes. So to get a feel of how to reduce the whole thing of reducing the radiation in other lobes other than the main lobe, we go through a mathematical simulation through MATLAB, and we can change the design parameters of this helical antenna and get radiation patterns straight away plotted and shown to us through MATLAB. That was an interesting application of simulation studies, where we can take up this type of simulation studies for BTech or MTech projects, and we can get newer insights into variation of back lobes and side lobe energies and concentrating them in the main lobe. And also, his second part of the lecture talked about data analysis and basically about dimensionality reduction in PCA, that is using principal component analysis. This is a very old concept. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors are available for dimensionality analysis from the 60s and 70s. They have been actually actively applied. Mahalanobis distance, all these classification schemes can be used effectively if we can discriminate the data, decorrelate the data, and make it decorrelated through principal component analysis, so that the data separation in hyperplane can be very good, so that your division of data, that is classification of data into 2 classes, for example, class A or class B, that is the ultimate requirement of a number of decision making systems, wherein you have to decide what category this vector belongs to. So to decide that, he is using support vector machines. Support vector machines are also well known. They have been in use for a long time. And support vector machines are basically classification machines. In that, a multi-dimensional vector is applied, which are basically the feature vector, measurement of features of a particular object. To discriminate it from another object, we are using multi-dimensional vector of each object, and then we are applying this multi-dimensional vector after some amount of decorrelation principal component analysis to this support vector machine, where the output will be more accurate compared to the non-discriminatory, non-decorrelated data. So we are using this support vector machine for decision making. So it was amply demonstrated and very well explained. It was also a very useful subject and a display of how to make use of this type of support vector machines for our project work. And on day 4, we had Mr. Ratnadeep Pingale, Executive Head, India Engineering Division from Verac Lighting Systems, the French company which is specialized in latest lighting systems such as LED lighting systems. And he covered a broad topic of electronics applied to industrial applications. It's a very well thought out and very well covered topic in which where all electronics and communication can be applied in industries, including the latest trend in the industry called Industry 4.0. So he started with some basic inputs about what are the market segments in which industries are classified, grouped. For example, medical, transportation, defense, communication, power and energy, consumer market, and core manufacturing divisions. So he gave examples of each division of industry and how electronics and communication is applied in each division. And also he took a detailed presentation on Industry 4, Industry 4.0, in which we have a number of electronics and communication industries which are amalgamated, co-working, or continuously in use in Industry 4.0 to make the industry better. That means industry has to be geared up for making more goods and services, more products, at the same time less cost, more reliability, and also at the same time it should be useful for the people. That means the industry should have excellent products which the people are asking or community is asking. So we have to have all these technologies, for example, cloud computing, mobile technologies, 3D printing, advanced robotics, big data and analytics of big data, Internet of Things, RFID, cognitive computing or artificial intelligence and machine learning. All these technologies are going to be applied in Industry 4 to make products better, more compact, more useful, and more human friendly. That means they are having the experience of enhanced experience of people when they are using the products. So it is very well thought out and well designed presentation which covered the entire industry and electronics and communication, where it fits into the industry and how electronics and communication engineers can contribute to this Industry 4.0. And also he had a good concept of covering the applications, number of applications like robotics, mechatronics, and automation, and beautiful coverage of the human system like smell, sight, body balance, focus, taste, speech, all these human systems, how they are converted to electronics and communication domain, and what are the simile or parallels, comparison, and how machines can take over all these functions and make a robot which is equivalent to a human being, which can do all the functions of a human being. For example, in surgery, robotics are already being applied in surgeries where a surgery specialist, that is surgical specialist, cannot be presented everywhere. So from a remote operation, remote location, a surgical specialist can operate a patient who is far away, which is actually going to be in a milliseconds reaction time, which is possible only by 5G technology. Earlier, till 4G technologies were there, this type of remote surgery was not possible because it was taking more time. It was taking 1 or 2 seconds. Now it can be done in a few milliseconds. Therefore, 5G technologies are coming to the aid of medical specialists and surgical specialists for treating the patients who are far away and located in the other part of the world. So like this, a number of challenging topics and challenging advancements have been thrown and shown to the people who have attended on this 5-day session. Today's session, of course, you have all been present, and I will give brief coverage of what was done in today's session. Mr. Kotresh Mundrugi is the director of Indian Tech Keys and also a CEO of Indian Tech Keys. They are providing solutions to bigger industries in industrial automation and skill development area. So they are helping bigger companies to do prototype development, embedded system design, PCB fabrication, and also in transferring knowledge to their corporate employees as well as to engineering college students and engineering college teachers. They are conducting courses. And it is also to cover the entrepreneurship part of the entire gamut of requirements. For example, we have seen industry specialists, we have seen academic specialists, who have seen research scholars talking on this 5-day workshop, 5-day FDP program. So to complete the total sphere of activities, here is an entrepreneur who had gone through the rigorous problems and solutions of entrepreneurship and faced problems in getting up and then running as an entrepreneur. He has explained what are the requirements by industries and how they are expecting you to solve the problems of industries. In that, he took us through the product development stages of what all the different stages of product development: concept level, proof of concept, prototype level, and then mass production and PCB production, various other aspects of product development. Why should we have a product? How should we think about design of the product? All these things he had very well explained, and he had thrown up a lot of challenges to new entrepreneurs who are looking to be giving jobs to others. Beauty of entrepreneurship is generating more jobs and giving jobs to others, which is very much essential and required for today's India and today's growth of make in India. So we require more and more entrepreneurs. In that sense, this was the completion of the entire, culminating into 5 days of FDP, finally ending up with an entrepreneurship solutions and challenges. Was a very good concept. I feel that it has been totally a complete package. So I wish and hope that you all have been benefited by this total FDP program of 5 days, and wish you all the best. And with this, I hand over the mic to our conductor, our master of ceremonies, Miss Betty.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the summary. And now I request the convener of this faculty development program and head of the department, Mr. M. Imtiaz Basha, sir, to give vote of thanks for the event.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Being the convener and a head of the department of electronics and communication engineering, I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Gates Institute of Technology, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. D. Vishnuvardhan sir, who honored this function with his inspirational talk. I would like to thank our correspondent, Madam Srimati V.K. Padmavatama Garu, Managing Director, Sir, Mr. G. Raghunath Reddy Garu, Director, Madam Srimati V.K. Srivani Garu, Principal, Sir, Dr. D. Venkatesh Garu, staff members, participants, and last but not the least, the speakers, Day 1, Dr. Muhammad Riaz Ahmad, Day 2, Dr. Abhishek Adhikari, Day 3, Mr. Vasu Galitoti. Day 4, Mr. Ratnadeep Pingale. Day 5, Mr. Kotresh Mundrugi, for giving the valuable insights on new technologies, research on advanced technologies and challenges in electronics and communication engineering. Finally, I am glad to thank the coordinators, Dr. R.S. Kavita Madam and Dr. B. Manan Sir, anchoring team, technical team, and all the faculty members of Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering for their support and coordination towards the successful completion of 5-day national level FDP on advanced technologies and challenges in ECE. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the participants for contributing your time and presence for all 5 days faculty development program and advanced technologies and challenges. We hope that you have benefited in this 5 days faculty development program in several ways in the fields of research, teaching, and employment. It's my privilege that I got a chance to thank everyone.
A kind note for participants, the certificates will be issued for the next 4 to 5 days of working days. And we will be sending your certificates through the registered emails. Thank you. Thank you all.